Hi everybody, welcome to another video, and today I wanted to talk to you about tips that I have for breastfeeding. These are more emotional tips rather than practical tips. I mean, I suppose they are kind of a bit of both, but they serve your emotional welfare more than anything, as breastfeeding can often be a very difficult but rewarding journey, and sometimes you just need all the help you can get. I'm now actually coming up to my 6-month breastfeeding goal, which is something that I wanted to do from when Leo was very tiny. I only breastfed him for about 3 months, and most of that was combi fed. And this time I wanted to make sure that I was breastfeeding for a lot longer. I haven't been able to exclusively breastfeed, but I have managed to keep up breastfeeding enough that we still breastfeed at night exclusively and most of the time during the day. So here we go. These are my tips for breastfeeding. First of all, understand that breastfeeding is very time consuming and it is difficult by its very nature, the fact that you have to give up so much of yourself for this little person. So take the time to be extra kind to yourself and don't be too hard on yourself if you're finding it difficult. It's very normal to find it difficult and you're not failing. It is sometimes, and for the majority of women at least, difficult for the beginning. After a while you might get into your stride, but honestly I haven't really felt like I've got into my stride with breastfeeding until like the last month or so, and Fox is nearly 6 months now. And even then I still have wobbles, I still have times where I feel like I'm not doing so well. I have to remind myself of everything that I have achieved up until this point and how much better it is this time than the first time I breastfed with Leo. My second piece of advice is breastfeeding is not a one-woman show. Yes, you are the person doing all of the feeding, but what about everything else that you were responsible for before the baby came along? What about your house? What about your own welfare, taking a shower, brushing your teeth? What about other children? It's really important to surround yourself with people who will support you during this time and understand that you want to breastfeed and that this means your time will be taken up with the baby. The best thing other people can do for you is to take over your responsibilities that you had before you were breastfeeding, such as looking after the house or the children, running errands, or just giving you half an hour to take a shower. My third piece of advice, which is probably something I should have led with, is I really wish somebody had told me the first time breastfeeding is not all or nothing. Even if you are struggling to meet your baby's demands, you can still breastfeed and give them formula at the same time. It doesn't have to be all breast milk or just all formula. You can do a combination of both that suits you, and you can have the best of both worlds. You can hand the baby off to somebody to give a bottle if you need to do something else, or you can have that closeness and that bond and that lovely breastfeeding cuddle, which I've come to learn is actually really, really special and really lovely. I didn't really have that the first time around with Leo. I just was told that his weight was suffering and that perhaps a good idea would be to supplement with formula. But due to my lack of understanding about breastfeeding, I really didn't know how to keep it going. And this probably leads into my next piece of advice, which is educate yourself and join support groups. Read books about breastfeeding. The Womanly Art of Breastfeeding is a great one. Ina May Gaskin's Guide to Breastfeeding, also very good. And there are a handful of others which I'm sure you could come across. Having a good understanding of breastfeeding and how it works is really important when it comes to your success with breastfeeding. Go to support groups if you have one locally, or if you feel like you want to get out and actually meet real people in the flesh, then do that. For me, it was more practical to just get onto like Facebook mostly is what I've used. UK Breastfeeding Support is a great group, and you can just put whatever you're thinking about breastfeeding out there, and women who are going through the same thing as you or have been there will answer you, and it's been really invaluable for me these past 6 months. So for now, my breastfeeding journey is continuing and I don't see any signs of it stopping. I would love to get to 1 year. The one thing for me that I kind of regret is that I'm probably not going to get another chance to give breastfeeding a go. I'd really love to exclusively breastfeed, but I probably think it's never going to happen, I'm afraid, because I'm probably not going to have any more biological kids of my own, which kind of sucks and makes me sad. But I have had the opportunity to do it twice, and this time I have done it much more in the way that I would love to have done it the first time. And I'm so glad that I've had the support and I've had the know-how and the experience to just stick at it and keep going, even when I've considered quitting. Did you successfully breastfeed with any of your children? Did you have struggles the first time, or maybe even the third time? Who knows? Thanks for watching my video. Do leave a comment below if you have any, and I will be back with another one really soon. Bye guys!